Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Building Your Psychic Abilities with me, Bonnie Page. Today's video is going to be all about how to give a psychic reading. So if you have a paper and pen you'd like to get, there's kind of a lot of information here that I'm going to go over with you, but this is going to be step-by-step information that I have put together that will bring you the greatest results when you're giving a psychic reading. A lot of psychics start with using tarot cards or oracle cards or pendulums and things of this nature, which are called tools, right? And you can do that, and there's nothing wrong with tools. Cards are great, pendulums are great, but this psychic reading, I'm going to bring you from the beginning right to the end, and I'm going to talk you through it. So this is something that you can really learn to do, and if you can, because you're going to have this video, grab a partner to practice with. But definitely look over this video maybe once, maybe twice, take some notes, and then start to practice giving a psychic reading. And you can do that with friends, family. Get to know the feel of how things come to you, either perceiving or receiving information. A lot of psychics will tell you that they perceive information from someone's aura, which is the energy field around each of us. Your aura, will give people information from, things that are going to happen in the past, the present, and what might be for the future. I always say a psychic reading should be for guidance for the person sitting in front of you. And that's very important to remember. Not always saying, oh, I can see the future, because that can change either with a psychic reading with cards or a psychic reading with no tools. You have the ability to change your mind, or the person in the scenario with you. A lot of people will come in and say, I want to know if I'm going to marry this man. That man in the scenario also has that free will and can change his mind or her mind, and really dramatically changes the outlook on the reading that you've had. So just know that a reading is kind of like in the present moment. We can get a glimpse into things that can happen for you. So if you have, you grabbed a pen and a paper and you want to start step-by-step information to start a psychic reading. In one of the last videos, I talked about sitting in the power of spirit. So I, as a psychic medium, I do go into a person's aura, right? And you can feel that aura a lot. Some people can see the aura, but most people feel the aura, the energy that's around someone. I take it a step further, and that's what I'm going to be teaching you here to do today. If you do that meditation of sitting in the power and you open yourself up, you're opening yourself up to your guides, your angels, your loved ones, the people helping you to deliver a message to someone. And you're also calling in the person that's sitting in front of you, your client, your sitter, your friend. You're calling their spiritual team in as well. So my psychic readings are about perceiving using the aura and receiving from the divine. I feel like this is more of a well-rounded psychic reading to be able to do both. Now, to do both, you really do want to take that time to sit in that power, to open your chakras, open your psychic senses, and really push out your own aura, right? We learned how to do that, pushing out your own aura so you can receive and perceive a little bit easier with the blending there of information coming to you. So once you have done that, once you have sat in the power and you feel that fuzzy, warm feeling, you feel the top of your head, your crown chakra open, you've gotten your third eye to open, you've opened your throat chakra, your heart chakra, your solar plexus. Remember, these are the chakras that we work with our psychic senses. So once we have all of those open and we're ready to communicate, then we can have a person in front of us. So before you're getting ready to do a reading or even to do practice work, make sure you have taken the time. And some people, it only takes 10 minutes. Other people, it takes a half an hour. It's okay. It doesn't matter. At first, it might take you longer to open up to the spiritual world than if, like me, I've been doing readings for 10 years, full time. It takes me like 10 minutes to open everything up and also to get grounded to Mother Earth and then to bring that energy back up as well. So it's almost like you're just all set, you're all open, all systems are ready to go. That's very important if you want to receive and perceive information for your sitter. Your sitter is the person sitting in front of you. That is your client. But hey, it's really fun to get, in the beginning, to really ask a few people that you know, hey, would you mind me practicing a little? I'm learning to do psychic readings. So if you want to practice before you're actually charging, that's probably a good idea. And it's going to let you become more comfortable and more confident when you're going to do a reading. So, no fears. We were all born with these psychic abilities. So your person is sitting in front of you. The first thing you can do is, some people take hands and some people don't. That is up to you. It's what you're comfortable with. When I first started practicing psychic and mediumship abilities, a lot of my teachers would say, take your partner's hand in front of you. And what does that do? That makes the energy so much stronger, because your energy is now directly feeling your sitter's energy as well. And so the two are blending there. But if you're not comfortable with that, that's fine. So what you want to do next is, you have your person sitting there and you want to close your eyes for a second. Take some deep breaths. Now remember, you've already done your opening up before your sitter has gotten there. So you just want to close your eyes and you want to set your intention for the reading. So say Joe is sitting in front of me. I want to set my intention that I am going to be a blessing to Joe, who is sitting in front of me. When you give the spirit world a name, it's actually giving them an anchor. So it's an anchor for you, and it holds that energy. That's what I mean by an anchor. So your chakras are opened, your psychic senses are open, your client's sitting in front of you. You just take a moment and just take some deep breaths in and out, just a couple, because you've already done your opening. But in front of your client, just take a deep breath, calm yourself, right? Don't let your nerves get the best of you. Calm yourself and just set that intention. What does Joe need to know today. Because really, Joe, my sitter in front of me here that you cannot see, has his own spiritual team already and waiting to be able to bring forth some messages from the spiritual world and from his energy centers that are going to help him. So they're always happy to be around you, your spiritual team. And remember, you're going to close your eyes. You're going to say Joe's name. What does my client need to know? You can even have your eyes open. Lots of times I just look over here without looking directly at my client, because then I'm really just going to be going into his energy. I want to kind of go over here, and in my mind, what does Joe need to know today? And then I might close my mind and I might get the first vision, right? Well, Joe, they are showing me this, or I am seeing this, or maybe I'm sensing, or maybe I'm hearing, right? So see, hear, feel. Or maybe it's just a knowing that comes over me. Well, Joe, I feel, or I know that you've just gone for a job interview. Would you be able to understand that? And you get a yes. And then you can move forward. Make sure you're on the right track. So, what you want to do with every reading, okay? So, find a comfortable place to do a reading and just relax. Make sure it's not noisy, it's nice and quiet. You're able to concentrate. So closing your eyes, taking those deep breaths, and just clearing your mind, because your mind needs to be clear so that these images or feeling or the sensing can come through. So if you're thinking about your own stuff or you're getting caught in your own mind, take a minute more to clear by taking some deep breaths. So I'm sitting here, my pretend person Joe is sitting there, and I am going to have my aura, which is my energy field, blend with Joe's aura, with your partner's aura. You're just going to blend with them and you're going to start sensing. Maybe they've had a bad day and you can pick that up. Or are they excited about something? Or is something weighing them down? That's what you want to start sensing, right? Psychic reading, you want to sense what's going on with your person. Do they feel is there any sadness in their aura, right? Maybe there was an instant where something just made them sad that the day that they're coming in to see you. Or maybe there's something a little unsettled. Maybe they have some questions. Maybe they could be angry, confused. You want to try to sense what energy is around them first. So that would be your first step, is to sense what's going on with another person. On the other flip side, maybe you're like, oh my gosh, they're just so joyful, or there's a lot of happiness, there's contentment there. Maybe there's a lot of love beaming out of your person from their heart chakra. Maybe they're open to receiving, or maybe they're not. So you need to sense that. You need to start sensing when you start giving a psychic reading. And then you want to ask questions for yourself. You kind of want to put it out there. Are there special events that are coming up for them? Or a birthday, a wedding, a promotion at work, or even a graduation? And a lot of times if I'm asking the spiritual world what's going on, and I will hear work, so I will kind of hear work, and then I will see a ladder. And I'm like, oh, at work they're trying to climb the ladder. And then, you can ask, would that make sense to you? So along the reading, you do want to ask your client, is this making sense to you? And sometimes the information doesn't make sense in that moment, which is okay. That means that it's going to be coming up for them. So lots of times I'll say, okay, if you're not understanding this right now, write it down, or I'll write it down for you, and we'll see what comes of it. Because remember, this is the past, the present, and into the future events that are coming up. Communicate to your partner anything that you are receiving, whether it's emotions or feelings, and just make sure you're on the right path. Now, if the information that you're perceiving or receiving, you're getting a yes to, a yes, it's fine to keep going with the reader. But if you're receiving a no, what happens then? It almost, no, you don't understand that? That's okay. You can ask the spirit world to give it to you in a different way, that maybe you've translated it in a way that your sitter's not understanding, or maybe it's just time to sit back again, take those deep breaths, and recenter yourself, and then ask your spiritual team to give you something that your client, your sitter, will understand. It's also important that you do not let your sitter give you too much information. Sometimes they'll sit in front of you and they need to talk, which is great, but you want to be the one doing the work, right? So let them talk after, and just tell them, you know, a yes or a no, and then tell them, you know what, we can talk about anything at the end of your reading, because sometimes they're there for a little counseling as well. Well, I know why they're saying that. This and this and this happened, and really you just want a yes. Yes, I do understand that, or a no, I'm not sure of that yet. So don't let your partner give you too much information, because that will get into your own mind and you'll kind of start feeding off from that. So it's your responsibility as the reader to inform your sitter what you are receiving and what you are getting. But really you just want that yes or no until the end. So I always like to take a moment or two, and I'm reading my notes here, to ask information that I am receiving about them. What is it in reference to? So if you get this strange thing of climbing the ladder, okay, so you're not quite sure what your team means by that, or why you're picking up this information, ask in your mind silently, what does this pertain to? What does this pertain to? It's either going to be in their aura, or it's going to be coming from the spiritual world for you. And I usually always will get more information once I ask in my mind. So if they're kind of lost about something, I'm not sure what you're talking about, that's okay. I always say that's good. You want to know that they're not understanding, and then just ask your team to give it to you in a different way. You can also, there's ways of predicting things, which is going to be in another video of predicting when things are going to be happening, and that's going to be in another whole video. Today we're just talking about how to do that one-on-one psychic reading. So the other thing you can do is you can always ask your client how you can be of assistance to them. So always be the person with the open heart, right? You want to have that open heart, because that's going to make your reading go just so much easier. And you really want to have the person in front of you have that open heart as well, because there is such a thing as blocking information, and that's when you block the energy, and that's when the person is sitting there like this and they don't want to give you anything. You're going to feel that resistance from them. Now, what are some of the questions that clients can ask about? Well, that could be love and romance, like we've talked about. Am I with the right person? Is there love in my future? And in another video, there's going to be a whole video just on symbols and how to use them. Symbols that you can receive yourself to be able to give an answer to your client. And I will go in that video. But the other things that people can ask during a psychic reading is finances. Is there money coming in? Am I making the right choices around my money? Or, you know, a lot of people come in and say, should I buy this house? So a lot of people can ask you about a big purchase. Is it the right purchase for them to make? That's why they're there. They're there for you to give them that guidance and that help, and help them make some decisions. But we never make decisions for anyone. We say, I see, or I feel, or I hear this for you. But the final choice always is with your client. Health suggestions. You know, if Spirit gives me something for someone like, oh, they need to be exercising a little more, or they need to be drinking water with lemon in it, I'm happy to give that to people. Or maybe, oh, you know, but I always tell them this is a very sticky situation with health, because we're not doctors. We're not doctors. You don't want anyone to come back on you and say, you said to go to the doctors, or you said not to go to the doctors, or it wasn't anything big. We don't know that. We don't want actually that responsibility for someone else's health. So unless I see something positive, or, oh, I see you out there hiking. Oh, yes, I love to hike. Oh, well, you might want to do a little more of that. It's really helping your physical body, right? So there's ways of saying things to your sitter that's in front of you. How about work and career? Those are two things that people ask about a lot. Is there something better out there for me? Am I in the right profession? Am I going to get that promotion? Or am I on the right career path? And a lot of people will evaluate work and career along with your soul's purpose. Your soul does have a purpose coming down here, but one of the biggest things is for you to be happy and joyous, and your soul's purpose usually involves you helping others in some way. So if someone was really nurturing, loving, always wanted to be a nurse, but they're sitting in front of me and they do taxes for a living, I can usually feel like they'd like a little bit more in their work or their career of something that they're being pulled to do. So it's okay to get a piece of information and then to ask for a little bit more information to go with the first piece. So I always see a nurse's cap over someone's head if they were meant to be a healer. And that doesn't just mean a nurse. It could be nurse, doctor, healthcare worker, Reiki practitioner. But usually it meant that they've come down here with a purpose of they would be wonderful at being a healer. So look into that a little bit more, and you're gonna have your own list of symbols that we're going to do in another video of how to get symbols from perceiving and receiving information. Another thing, clients come in, they want to know about relationships and family. How can I improve my relationships? Will I ever be able to overcome the rifts between us? What good things are on the horizon for my family? I have a lot of clients coming in saying, am I going to be a grandmother? So what you want to do is you want to be really honest with the information. This is what I'm getting. If you're not getting anything about that, don't give information. But if you're getting it, and you should be able to because you're open to the energy around you. But remember never to give anything harshly, right? Like when we're giving information to people, we want to give them guidance in a loving way. So there just takes some practice there of being compassionate and having sympathy for people as well. So family and relationships, yeah, I love talking about that, but remember that you're giving what you're receiving and you're not putting your own stuff in there, because that's not what a psychic reading is for. So finding my true joy, that's when I kind of look around a person and say, oh my goodness, I'll see, puppies around their head or something. Oh my gosh, you love animals. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I've been wondering if I should work with them. That would be a sign of course, this is what you love to do. This would be a passionate job for you to be able to make money and at the same time fill that soul purpose that you have. So another big question people ask is, what is holding me back? And that can be in any area. What is preventing me from being happy? What is standing in my way? And so that's when you really want to take that deep breath and you really want to give that question a moment. And you really do want to listen or feel into that question so that you're able to give them a great answer. What is holding you back? Let me see. I'm seeing, hearing, or feeling that you're a little shy in front of people, but I feel like you would love to be a speaker with I'm seeing, you standing there with a microphone. I'm seeing that you just get a little shy when you're handed the microphone. So maybe a public speaking class would be for you. And that would be something that they could consider. So, a psychic reading is really about giving people guidance and some help on their journey here on Earth. How can I get to where I want to be on my journey? What are the steps I need to take to get there? These answers can get pretty complicated, really, right? But once you're used to doing this psychic work, right, it's going to come to you and it's going to get easier and easier. And you don't have to start with these hard questions to start. You could have your sitter sit in front of you right now until you're feeling comfortable blending aura with aura, energy with energy, and just say simply, give me 2 or 3 things that I can give for information for the person sitting in front of me. Remember, you're just beginning. If you're watching this video, how to do a step-by-step psychic reading, you're a beginner at doing psychic readings, or you just want a little refresher, because I didn't find when I was doing this work that there were a lot of step-by-step how to do readings. So this one's here for you. Another question a lot of people ask me is, am I with the person that I'm supposed to be with? Am I with my twin flame? Well, I think that there's usually more than one person that was dropped down here for you to be with. But sometimes it's really magical if you do find someone that is just right for you. And so that's a wonderful thing. And so when I'm asked that question, am I with the right person, I will get a symbol, one of my symbols that will show me, yes, this is the person that you're supposed to be with. So do I think there's just one person for everybody out there? No, I think there's a few, but I am a romantic, and I think that sometimes we are sitting up there in heaven and we're like, let's reincarnate again and find each other. And I actually really do believe that that happens. But in a psychic reading, you can just feel if someone's happy and the person that they're with is happy as well, because that's just as important. The other thing you can do if someone asks you about someone in their life is they can give you a name and you can write it down. So maybe Joe, who's sitting here, wants to know about his girlfriend Betsy. Well, I don't spill the beans on Betsy too much, right? Because that would be a little unethical. But I can write down Betsy's name and I'll get a feeling whether she is happy in her relationship with Joe, my client who's sitting in front of me. So there's so many questions that you can really kind of delve into with psychic intuitive readings. And the last part is when it's time to end the session, again, you can let them ask you a question if something hasn't been covered, it hasn't come up in the reading. You can say, do you have anything else that you would like me to tune into for you, right? So to help you the way I do it, I always have a pen and paper in front of me and I'll write something, and that's also like an anchor. So I'll write it down. Just remember that your client is there because they trust you to be authentic. It's so important in this work that you are true to your clients and you are true to yourself. So now it's time to end the reading, and you want to thank them for coming, and you're going to kind of pull your energy back. So your aura is all around you. You want to thank them. Take a couple of breaths and just in your mind's eye, kind of pull your energy back. Thank everyone, the spiritual team that worked with you, just in your mind, just in your mind. Thank everyone for helping you deliver the message. But you actually, you want to disengage. So you want Joe, who's been sitting in front of me, right, to leave with his own energy, and I want to be sitting here just in my own energy. So you want to make sure that you say thank you to the spiritual team that has helped you, and you just want to pull your energy back in, and you might want to just ground yourself. So just taking some deep breaths and bringing all of that energy down through your body, through the soles of your feet into Mother Earth, and just grounding yourself, clearing your energy, and just kind of clear, having that intention. Because hopefully you have another person coming in for a reading. So, but this is a great way to start doing psychic readings, and really always with the intention of being a blessing to someone here on the earth with you, and helping them over some bumps, or giving them a pick-me-up. Yes, you're on the right track, or you're with that person that loves you as well. You know, it really, really helps to have some guidance sometimes. Sometimes we can get by without any guidance. You know, we're working with our own team, but who doesn't want a little, yeah, you're on the right track, or why don't you try this? And that's what a psychic reading is all about. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thank you so much. Please practice this, watch the video a couple times if you need to, and then practice. Remember not to put too much stress on yourself, because it will block your energy centers, right? So just really relax, go with this, and have that intention of, I want to be a blessing to someone else. So thank you, and I will see you in the next video.